Hello everyone and welcome back to more Pokemon Go leaks. It's currently late at night and we've just got some new leaks about the latest Pokemon to come to Pokemon Go, as well as some updates to some certain models that we'll be seeing soon in Pokemon Go, as well as Go Fest, and some change to some charge moves. And we're going to go into the main topic of conversation, which is the new Pokemon coming soon, which you can obviously see on screen now, is Dhelmise, also known as the Sea Creeper Pokemon. Now, as you can see, we also have updates for Rookidee, Corvisquire, and Corva Knight as their moves. They now have Steel Wing, Air Slash, Sand Attack, Draw Peck, and Payback, which is a bit of a nerf to make them a bit more manageable in PvP, because they were going to absolutely shatter it, but now it's going to they're still going to break PvP, but it's they're going to be like slightly more manageable. Now, Kubfu and Urshifu, both forms mind you, have received updates to their camera adjustments, Pokeball collision radius, jump animations, model tweaks, etc., and the same can be said for Dhelmise. Now, does this mean that Kubfu, Urshifu, and Dhelmise are arriving at the same time? Absolutely not. Kubfu has been in the files for a long time now, and that is most likely because it may end up being the mythical Pokemon handed out during Go Fest this year as the research one, or it might end up being like the main theme of Go Fest with both Gigantamax forms of Urshifu, which do exist. So, however Niantic want to approach that, I still think it's going to be Mega Mewtwo, but we'll see how that goes. So, Dhelmise is the theme for today's video. Let me go into it. I'm going to tell you everything about Dhelmise. Will it be useful? What will it debut as? And what are its stats? So let's just quickly go into it. So, first, Dhelmise, what type is it? Dhelmise is the Sea Creeper Pokemon as a Grass and Ghost type, meaning it is weak to Dark, Fire, Flying, Ghost, and Ice, but it is resistant to Electric, Grass, Ground, and Water, and Quad resistant to Fighting and Normal. It maxes out at 3,335 CP, so pretty high. It has 233 attack, 179 defense, and 172 stamina, and has a 5 kilometer buddy walk distance if you want to get candies for it. Now, what moves will it learn? Now, currently, it would learn Shadow Ball, Astonish for its fast attacks, and for its charge attacks, it would know Shadow Ball, Power Whip, and Heavy Slam. Now, Raid, which would be a 3-star Raid Pokemon, most likely. Its 100 CP, it goes from 1608 CP to 1685 CP, and with a weather boost, 2010 CP to 2107 CP, and research will be 1206 CP to 1264. Wild Hondo CPs are now on screen. Boom, there you go. They're all there. It has a base catch rate of 20%, and it has an incredible shiny. It has an absolutely incredible shiny. Look at that. I think it's a solid 8.5 out of 10. But let's talk about how it could debut. We're going to go through the list of things, and then I'm going to tell you what I think it will do. So, obviously, the first one, the most obvious one, is the Wild. Now, will it debut in the Wild? I severely doubt it, because Niantic have only debuted, I believe, one Pokemon this year in the Wild, which is Fido, and that was like an Ultra Unlock sort of thing, where we all had to work together to unlock it, and it wasn't like a major Pokemon. I believe Dashbun is pretty decent in PvP, but I'll have to look into that in the future. Will it debut in eggs? Now, if it will debut in eggs, I believe it will be a 10 kilometer egg debut, and that's probably one of my favorites to be one of the reasons it will debut. It could debut in 3-star raids, which is also one of my favorites. It could debut on a certain lure module, so we're looking at obviously what's the name of the one? The grass module. It has a special name. My apologies for forgetting. Or it could be in field research. Now, I've been talking to a lot of people about this, and a lot of people have already been pessimistic and said eggs, because eggs seem to be the big thing that Niantic want to go for, because one, it's like a loot box system, very easily monetized, it encourages players to walk around a lot, or if you want to use the sock method, if you don't know how to use the sock method, I'll cover that in a later video if you guys want that. But personally, I could see this debuting in 3 separate ways, my 3 favorites. Now, one of them is a wild card, but I believe it might hold the most ground. So, first of all, I wanted to look at when it was added to the files, and it was just added now. Like, it received various updates. Now, how long is the timeline from receiving updates to getting released? Now, as we know from Kubfu, that can take months. Some could take years even, but that is pretty rare to see it take that long. So, I believe Dhelmise will be released soon, because it is a very random debut. Now, will it debut in February? it might do. And if it does, here are my 2 predictions that it'll debut as. Now, 3-star raid, I think it screams 3-star raid to me. It really, really does. And it might end up being a debut of a 10-kilometer egg, because that egg pool is starting to get a bit stale, and I think everyone could agree with me that 10-kilometer eggs don't feel very rewarding. So it's definitely going to be a 10-kilometer egg sort of thing if it does end up going in eggs, because I don't see it as a 12-kilometer thing. We just got Strudel in 12-kilometer eggs, so that's unlikely. But my other prediction, which was come through a couple of conversations with a couple of people, it might not come out in February, but March, very early March, with the Ultra Unlock for Unnovator Global. Now, as you know, we have a lot of global unlocks once we complete a major event like GoFest, Wild Area, and Tour events. So, the Ultra Unlock for this could end up being the debut of Dhelmise. Now, will it debut with a shiny? Absolutely not. That is not going to happen. Unless Niantic have their rent due and they want to debut it in 3-star raids and gather a bunch of money, then sure, go ahead, they'll do that. But I think it could end up being an Ultra Unlock, making it thrown into research, maybe in the wild if it's an Ultra Unlock. I doubt that an Ultra Unlock will go into raids, I don't know if that's been done before, but I know the Unlock for Galarian Corsola recently, after Wild Area, ended up deciding to debut in eggs. Actually, no, that's not an Ultra Unlock, my bad. That's for like a grand finale sort of thing, but still. Similar status, if you know what I mean. But if it becomes an Ultra Unlock, I believe it'll go in research, but if it debuts normally, I believe it will go in raids, 3-star raids, and a 10-kilometer egg. Will it be useful though? Not really. It has an interesting typing. I believe it could have some use in the Ultra League, like any other Pokemon, but no. Overall, Ghost types are decent in PvP, but the current moveset it has can be obviously subject to change. It could get better, could get worse, could end up being absolutely awful. But nope. What do you guys think about Dhelmise coming to Pokemon Go pretty soon? I don't know how I ended up making a 7-minute video about it, but thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Subscribe. Love you guys.